Welcome back to the quarter mile on Sky from Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway. It's the second round of the Pipeline Hose Shop's Red Light Series, and it's a pretty massive show we've got lined up for you. Under COVID conditions once again, so a big thanks to everybody who has gone that extra mile to help us put this show on for you. And we got something a little bit different for you. It's the SuperStocks. Welcome back to Western Spring Speedway.
Once again, it is the TWS Superstock King of the Springs, and the two TWS cars, two green TWS cars at least, are going to be at the pointy end of the field. I said at the start of the night, Ellie, I said watch out for Quinn Ryan. He is going to be the showcase of the Superstock class, and here he is starting on pole position because he is our top point scorer. Right, here we go. It is the Superstock feature, TWS King of the Springs, the winner take all. Quinn Ryan, the 46B on pole. The Caleb Ashton 24R on the outside. We get the green, and Ryan gets the jump, and here comes Bryce Steiner, the 118R from row 3. He's actually starting to push up the inside. Remnant to the outside, the 19M, and Brendan Ashton's just getting sucked back in the field, but Remnant's starting to go around. He manages to catch it. Quinn Ryan, though, the 46B, the BJ's Bakery machine, gets the lead. Oh, that rut's really playing a part in turn 3. Hope you know right rear's going. We've lost Dylan Ashton. He's not happy in the car, the 422, and Jamie Fergus. We go round. Remnant's gone round. That was my pick. He's gone round. Tyler Walker, the former New Zealand stock car champions, round, and taken James Clark into the wall with him. 10 to go. We got one round. It's Marks from across the road at Waikareka. Bryce Marks has gone round to the Bernie Fox machine. Straight into 73 up and gets going. 10 laps to go for Quinn Ryan, the 46B machine, though, out in front. He's actually had a great season so far this year for the limited track time he's had. He's been sharing the car with the car owner's son. So James Buckwell owns the car. His son Jacob's made the move out of youth mini stocks and been spending a bit of time in the car this season. But as Caleb Ashton's gone round, the 24R car, he's gone round, so that promotes Bryce Steiner, the 118, to the second position, and Kyron O'Brien, the 25B. Well, he doesn't, like I say, he doesn't need to hit that pole line because he's in third, and Ashton fires up now. We go red, though. Reds are out. And Tyler Walker, the 133, he is a lap down, although he's got a lot of pace going on there. Quinn Ryan, 46B, is your race leader. Ahead of the 118R of Bryce Steiner, the former World 240 champion, just holding off a lap car. We've got Kendall Ashton now, where she's managed to correct up, 23R, down there in turn 4. So it doesn't hinder our race leader. Tyler Walker, he is a lap down the 113, but he is pressing on. So we've got leading the race, 46B, Quinn Ryan, with 5 laps to go as he crosses the start-finish line there on Salter straightaway. 118 Bryce Steiner sitting there in second, 25B Kyron O'Brien in third, although Damien Orr, actually it's Jason Brown now, moved up into fourth spot, the 19R, that awesome 6-cylinder tri-rail up the inside of Kyron O'Brien. That's for the last spot on the podium, and Brown makes it stick. So Jason Brown up into the third spot. Damien Orr, the 81R, starting to use a bit of bumper on Kyron O'Brien as he drops back slowly through the field. There's O'Brien, 3 to go for Quinn Ryan, our race leader. Jason Brown, though, making the most of the battle between O'Brien and Orr for that 4th spot, and that's allowing Brown just to pull away, seal that 3rd spot just a bit more. The SJ Hampton Engineering 19R machine. We got one go round, and that's O'Brien. Now, will he hit the pole line? Have a bit of fun these last couple of laps. No, he's fired the car up, and he's still going. So Quinn Ryan, your race leader, is going to get the white flag. 1 to go for Quinn Ryan. A superb drive. He picked up heat 2. Finished, I think, about 3rd or 4th in heat 1. And he's got a commanding lead here in the feature race, and it'll be Quinn Ryan, the 46B, the BJ's Bakery machine, taking the win. The double checkers are out here for the Superstocks. It may not be the massive crash and bash that we're used to, but here's our top 6. It is Quinn Ryan, the 46B, taking home the race from the 118R Bryce Steiner, 19R Jason Brown home in 3rd, 351R Paul Vasey home in 4th, 81R Damien Orr home in 5th, and in 6th place it will be the 25B of Kyron O'Brien.
Welcome back, another edition of Know Your Speedway. This is typical of the back half of any toolbox that's here at Western Springs. Have a look at the components in here. We have a front axle, this is a front beam, and it's ready to go in the car, complete with a left front disc and brake caliper, everything. This is a differential with an axle full here. What's interesting about this is that the caliper, this is the disc for the brake, the caliper for the brake, but you can see here that the brake's already bled, so it's got a quick connect coupler, so they can change a differential in the car in about 7 to 10 minutes in one of these things. These bars down here, these are called radius rods. The long ones are for the rear of the car, and the shorter ones are for the front of the car. In any sort of incident on the track, these parts can crumble or break, bend or whatever. So the guys' objective is that they can put the car ready in 10 to 15 minutes and have it race ready to go back on the track. That's another edition of Know Your Speedway.
You're watching the Quarter Mile on Sky from Western Springs Speedway and from the SuperStocks on the track. We move to the more traditional open wheel series with Sprintcars and Midgets.
Yeah, guys, I suppose you're wondering, a lot of people wonder why they're tilling the track. What does it do? What's the situation here? So what happens is the cars require grip to go fast. And so what creates the grip is moisture in the surface. Now, if they just put moisture on a surface that's already packed and nice and hard like this, it sits on the very top and it just slides. So it just disappears almost straight away and we get dust. So what they do is they run the tiller around the top part of the track. They don't run it around the bottom. The bottom's already fast enough tonight. So they run the tiller around the top of the track and that opens the surface. They then follow it around with a water truck. That lets it get into some of the cracks and things like that, so there's an element of penetration with that water. And then you can see the push trucks are following it around now, and they're virtually closing off the surface again. So they're locking the moisture into the surface. During the course of the next race and the races subsequent tonight, that moisture should keep coming to the surface. And remember, when the moisture comes to the surface, through the surface, it creates grip. So that should speed the outside line of the track up. At the moment, the inside line's very fast, the outside line's a bit marbly and a bit slow. Let's see if this effort that they've put into rectifying the track, if that works, because the outside line now should create some speed, and the idea is that the bottom and the top should be the same speed, which gives you two very, very good racing lines and the opportunity to do slide jobs and to make passes.
Thanks very much, team. And we're going to roll to the grids for the GVI Fastmaster Midgets off the front row. It's going to be the 25M of Aaron Hodgson. On the outside of him is going to be Mitch Osborne in the 10M. Then we go back to our current 1NZ, Hayden Williams starting out of position number 3 with Peter Honeybell in the 39A out of 4. Brock Maskovich in the 5A out of 5 with Brad Mosen in the 10A on the outside out of 6. Then we go back to the last of the HLR cars. Out at 13 will be Cole Robinson, and then Trent Way in the 9A for Greenway out of grip position number 14. So here's a quick left rear change going on for young 16-year-old Cole Robinson. So that looks like a left rear puncture for the youngster there. So the HLR team working their magic and banging on a brand new left rear as we form up for the GVI Fastmaster feature race. We get ready. It's Hodgson versus Osborne off the front row. We get ready to turn them loose for 25, and we go green, and it's Hodgson off to a great start from Osborne, slipping in behind. Hayden Williams, watch out for him. He's on that pole line trying to get up the inside of Osborne. Can't quite get there. Watch out, a little bit further back. We got Mosen, Guptill running that high line, following Peter Honeybell. We've got the train coming through, but at the moment, Hodgson already broken away a little bit. But watch out, Osborne has got the drive coming off Penrite, turn number 4. Tries to go high side, gets back up the inside, can't make it work. But watch out, look out, the 10A Greenway man skittles up, not one, but 2. Maskovich and Osborne in one fair swoop. Here comes the man, he was my pick, Mr. Reliable, Brad Mosen. for Greenway Racing. He now sets his eyes onto the back of the Lucas 1NZ of Hayden Williams. What can we see? He did it tough last week. He brought home third. He was leading the feature. He went to the back after spinning out. Then worked his way back up to third. He's got the car under him with that Tim Clark CP3X. Here he comes. Wheels around the outside, Hayden Williams. Williams knows he's there, but Williams has nothing for Mosen. Can he fight back? No, he can't. Watch out. Here comes Mo. But we keep our eyes on this battle. This is where the heat is. Mosen goes high side, finds that cushion, and this is going to be the pass. It's winding up. Mosen knows there's drive there. Goes high side. Hodgson goes high side. There doesn't look to be a huge amount of grip on the low line, and we see that because Osborne's struggling on the pole. Maskovich runs high side around Osborne. But here is the battle that we're back on board with, getting low side on the rotary. Brent Curran in there, and watch out, Ken Palmer. And Hayden Williams closes and runs around the outside, but doesn't quite squeak through. Hodgson gets up the inside. Mosen tries to run high side. There's the 78 spinning around. Watch out, Hayden Williams coming in. Slides up the track, and unfortunately just no grip up there. Graham, just quickly, as you get yourself organised there with your mic, mate, what are you seeing? Who's going forward? Who's going backwards? And who's your pick and what you're seeing down there, mate?
Absolutely. Going forward is Brad Mosen and also Michael Pickens, because remember, Michael's come from the back, but Brad looks the best so far. Brock Maskovich is going pretty good as well, but hard luck for Hayden. He had to drop to the back by just tagging that issue there. So when you see the cars in their three abreast like that, that's usually they're disputing the position. They're not sure when it goes back to the last recorded lap who and where they were meant to be starting. So what happens now is they've got transceivers that they get a message from the radio, and then they're ready to go racing. So they know that the lights are out, they're going racing. Back to you, Ali.
Thanks very much, Graham. Giving you your action trackside as we grid up once again. Hodgson versus Mosen as we look to go green there past the cone. Hodgson goes early, Mosen goes with him. Watch out, Osborne and Maskovich. Maskovich gets the jump. They hit that pothole coming off Penrite turn number 4. Mosen shadows Hodgson through minus turn number 1 and 2. We got smoke coming out of the back of Davison. There's contact with those two cars, but watch out. Osborne moves up the racetrack. No doubt he's been busy on his shocks. That car's wheel standing. Here comes Michael Pickens. Slide job on Peter Honeybell. Watch out. Hodgson still leads, but Osborne was the big loser out of that one. Not only did we get Pickens in there, but we've got Kenny Roberts in the wall down at Penrite. Manages to keep it going, but move Michael Pickens up into the 5th spot. So Pickens has moved from 19th up to 5th. Here comes the sliders. Brad Mosen versus Aaron Hodgson. Hodgson knows that he's there. Mosen won't want to be wanting to use up that car early, but he also wants to break through as we've got cars around. And here's the same 3 that were tied up in that incident. We've got a great J.A. Russell replay of the impact here with Kenny Roberts down in the wall. So watch that car just bottom a shot. Watch this. Gran Turismo spec hits the wall, bounces it, wall rider. I think there's something special up there. If he can make that work consistently, I think he can make something of that. But there's the 1NZ, disappointing into the night for the BSL Racing 1NZ Lucas Oil Machine of Hayden Williams. As we roll around, no doubt the lights will be going off very shortly. It looks like we're still disputing a few positions, but the lights are out. And lights are out around Speedway here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. It's Hodgson from Mosen. They're past the cone, and we get set to turn them loose once again. Watch that pothole there. Pickens just gets it. But watch out, Brock Maskovich coming on strong. Mosen once again shadows Hodgson through minus 1 and 2. Once again, here comes Maskovich. The King TRD man is on a charge and coming for our leaders. There we go, Guptill trying to get up the inside, but watch out, the man on the outside who's on a mission. CRC number 54, move Pickens up a spot. Into the wall goes Maskovich and Pickens, and Honeybell goes over. Watch the 5-8. Maskovich gets in there hard. Pickens is on a run. Momentum in Pickens' favour. Little bit of a hop there from Maskovich. and Pickens just ran out of room and was just sucked into the wall. And 39 Vertex machine, a Honeybell comes in, hits the tail tank of Pickens and tippy-toes over. McGill, wow, there he is, just sucks the rear end, bit of a hop. There he goes, gets sucked in. Pickens almost gives him a little bit of a helping hand. And yeah, very sad looking front beam there. There goes Honeybell up and over. And watch for the blue car. Here he is. Oh, wowie. As we get ready to roll around, Hodgson still our pace setter here. Mosen still on the outside. Guptill on the second row with Mitch Osborne still. Hodgson goes early. Mosen pulls it down low side. Watch the cars get that hop through that little rut there. As we go green, still once again almost carbon copy restart for Hodgson and Mosen shadowing each other through Midas. But watch out, here comes the slider. What has Mosen got? Is there any drive down low side? Doesn't look to be. He's lost his momentum. Watch out, Hayden Guptill for BSL Racing. Slider on Mosen, gets through. Can Mosen answer back? He can. The Greenway man back into the second spot. 12 laps to go. Mosen finds himself above that little light cushion. Loses his momentum. Watch out, look who's in fourth spot. Jaden Worthington, where did that come from? Mitch Osborne gets a bike, but the big 177 cubic inch Fontana is on a charge. There we go. So this is a heated battle. Greenway, the Mosen. Here we go. Let's keep our eyes set on this. 3 laps to go. Next time by. Hayden Guptill doing a great job. Almost replicating the pace and lines from his teammate, Aaron Hodgson, who's comfortably got this, but Hodgson now on the lap traffic. Brent Curran throws the slider on the lap traffic, and Curran actually gets back underneath him. So Curran not giving in here. 2 laps to go. Has Mosen got anything for Guptill? This is our battle for second and third. Guptill high side. Mosen looking for any grip and drive on the racetrack to find his way through. Runs a little bit high. 1 lap to go for our leader, Hodgson. Does he have this in the bag? He's got clear track in front of him. What are we going to see? Here he is, the 360 property management car. We got smoke coming out of Curran, but here is our winner. Aaron Hodgson takes your win for round 2 of the Pipeline Red Light Midget feature. We wait for the donuts, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Hodgson. There we are. So new valve springs indeed for the BB7 Esslinger of Aaron Hodgson, but donuts indeed. Your winner here tonight for the GVI Fastmaster Midget feature. Second place goes to NZMT's Hayden Guptill. Brad Mosen with a strong drive and a hard-fought battle there at the end brings home third. Caleb Curry, his teammate for Greenway Racing, in fourth. Mitch Osborne fifth. And there he is. Well done, Aaron Hodgson.
Well, Aaron, you said we came and spoke to you earlier in the night, said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Well, now that's 3 out of 3. Absolutely fantastic. Were you worried when you saw Mosen attacking you?
Yeah, a little bit. I knew he's always fast, and he knows what he's doing with the shocks. He's always there at the end. So I thought the top was better after that when we had that first yellow, so luckily I went up there. Yeah,
No, you had an outstanding night tonight and your car worked perfectly. You actually checked out towards the end of the race. Hard luck for your teammates, but one of them came second, Hayden Guptill. So a good night for the BSL team.
Yeah, it's good. 2 terrors in first and second, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, we've got them working pretty good now. So just got to continue the string and hopefully get some more.
From the midgets to the winged warriors that are the sprint cars here at Western Springs, with the feature race in round 2 of the Pipeline Hose Shops Red Light Series.
We're going to check the grids here for the Salter Sprint Car feature, the 25-lap Sprint Car feature here. So as we say, it's going to be Pickens from Dean Cooper off the front row. Then it's going to be Graham Standrick's pick, Stephen Taylor in the 21P. On the outside of him is going to be the man out of Chico, California, J.A. Jonathan Allard in the 11 USA. Then we go back to Jamie McDonald in the 71A starting out of 5, with Jamie Larson in the 82A starting out of 6. Rolling over, Corbin Anderson making the transition across to the sprint cars in the 69A starting out of 13. And Lance Beale for HLR Racing in the 87A out of 14. We get ready to turn them loose here for 25 laps for the Salters sprint car feature here at Luke Western Springs Speedway. Pickens and Cooper is the front row, and where Green Pickens gets off to a stonker and leads them down into turn number 1. But watch out, the young rookie, Dean Cooper, running high side, but not able to stick with Pickens. Here comes the 21W man, Stephen Taylor. Graham's Dandering Picton, he's not scared. He runs that car high and wide. Jonathan Allard on the pole line, trying to squeak under the man out of Wellington. As we've got one around, and it's the 69 of Corbin Anderson. J.A. Russell action replay. So Anderson goes round. It actually looks like Richard Battersby's an innocent bystander. So flat left rear as well for Corbin Anderson. And looks like a bit of extra damage there, maybe even to the front chassis rails, maybe even on the front of that car.
Oh, that's had a good bend in the front. It's taken a really hard hit. The whole bar rack and everything's really bent right across. The frame's not looking good. I'm looking at Corbin. He ain't looking too flash either. He's not very happy about it.
Wheel spin for Stephen Taylor. Both wheels smoking up across the start-finish line. Allard goes high side, tries to run around the outside of the man out of Wellington. Does so successfully, but Stephen Taylor wings it hard down into Penrite turn number 3. Can he jump back in front? He does so. But watch out, here comes the man with that brand new race car under him. Jamie Larson coming through with Jamie McDonald. There's a heated battle there. That's for 5th and 6th track position. Nick Edmonds pulls to the inside, allows Pickens through. Dean Cooper is still hard on the gas. He is not giving this away. Allard still trying to sneak up the inside of the man out of Wellington, Stephen Taylor. Pickens now clears off Nick Edmonds and the Fenton machine of Carl Fenton. Pickens now trying to pick off Holly Williams. Dean Cooper now into the first of the lap traffic for him around the outside of Nick Edmonds with 17 laps left to go for Pickens. So there's Dean Cooper around the outside of Nick Edmonds. Let's keep our eyes on this. Here he is. So second place moves around to the first of the lap traffic. Here comes the 11 USA just into the back of that shot. So Jonathan Allard is now in the mix. J.A. Jonathan Allard is up into the 3rd position. Lance Beale has sizable damage to the top wing of his 87 B&T machine. So if we see the 84, watch the 84 as he approaches Lance Beale. Check out the top wing. Check out the angle and the damage to the machine of Lance Beale. That is not going to look too flash. That's not going to be too nice. Dean Cooper gets up the inside. Can he make it stick? Here comes Jonathan Allard. He wants a piece of the action. He wants a slice of that 2nd place trophy. And he's in the mix. Dean Cooper gets through on Beale. Allard now navigates the pole line, gets through on Beale as well. Dean Cooper lost a little bit of momentum, lost a little bit of rhythm. Pickens now has 3 cars between himself and 2nd place man Dean Cooper as Rob Basie pulls to the inside all on his own. No noticeable damage, but Jonathan Allard still has nothing. Halfway distance now. 12 laps left to run here at Luke Western Springs Speedway for the Salters Red Light Pipeline Sprint Car feature. So Pickens has lapped himself back up to probably around the 10th position at this point in time. So Pickens now finds himself onto the back of Brindle. That's Ray McGriffin as Pickens goes round all on his own and gets to the inside, keeps it going. And yellow is out. Credit where credit's due. And here it is. So here's Michael Pickens. The car's already around. And there it is. Michael Pickens brings the car around. So, I don't know. Those wheels are spinning. If that car had traction control, those rear wheels would not be spinning that freely, I would imagine. So Pickens, great job. Keeps the thing pointing in the right direction. Or once he got back onto the black stuff, so to speak. And look at that. Finds himself still in the lead. As we see another angle. So there's that replay. Front wheels in the air. Keeps his foot on the gas. Rotates the car. Allows his competitors to catch up. And brings out the yellow. Does Lance Beale. As lights are out and we get ready to turn them loose for 10 more laps around Luke Western Springs Speedway. Pickens versus Cooper. Pickens goes. Jamie Larson goes high side. Can Allard sneak up the inside of Cooper? So far, so good. Looks like it. But Dean Cooper is not afraid to mash that gas pedal and keeps the thing high and wide around the outside. Jonathan Allard. Allard goes conservative, running that pole line. Trying to find a little bit of extra drive out of that asphalt on the pole line. But Michael Pickens bolts once again, and Jamie McDonald up and over multiple times, as does the two cars down the back. And that looks like that's the IQ Components machine of Dion Kendall and Smith in there as well. So that was further back. So watching the action, this is Jamie McDonald on that inside line. Stephen Taylor jumps over that left rear with J-Mac's right rear. Parts flying off the car, front bumper it looks like, up and over. So watching the 21. So J-Mac well and true. Oh, yeah, hard to tell. That was Stephen Taylor was definitely planning on coming down the racetrack. Unfortunately, Jamie McDonald was just too far in there and well committed to that inside line himself as well. So a different angle of this, just to the right of shot, just out of shot is that impact there with Jamie McDonald and Stephen Taylor. You see the wheel work by Stephen Taylor to try and keep that car on the road.
Well, Jamie, look, we didn't see it here, so I know it's awkward sometimes as racing. Just in your eyes, what happened?
Oh, look, I think it's two cars sort of fighting over the same bit of dirt. I put it in there, and he obviously wanted that same bit of dirt, and we just come together. I think, honestly, it's probably just one of those things. I have to look at the video, but yeah, it's just, we're trying to race hard, and it's one of those things.
As spectacular as it looked, I did see that they wheeled the car, and the wheels all look like they're in the right place, and it looks straight, so you never know until you pull it to bits. But apart from at this stage, doesn't look quite as bad as what I expected it to.
Look, I honestly haven't had a look. It felt like a decent ride, but sometimes those ones that spend a lot of time in the air aren't too bad on the damage. It's those ones that have close contact with the concrete, that's when it tears up some gear.
It's the stop that does it, isn't it?
It is. So, look, we got plenty of spare parts, and our sponsor, Harris Race Cars, are just 15 minutes up the road, and they built me a great car, and so they'll get in for next week.
Okay, well, we can't wait to see you next week, so I hope that it's not so bad.
Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
As we roll the cars around, lights are out around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. Pickens outpace setter from Dean Cooper, Allard and Stephen Taylor. Pickens goes. Can Dean Cooper go with him? Watch out, Jonathan Allard coming through. Stephen Taylor on the outside. Allard still just opting to run that pole line. Don't know if he's got anything to try and run that top shelf with Pickens and Dean Cooper. But he's doing so successfully. Other drivers, Darm and Stephen Taylor, trying to make something work up on that high line. But the man out front, Michael Pickens, he can put that CRC Stadium Finance 1NZ anywhere on the racetrack. But here we go, Jonathan Allard in the Daltons 11 USA clears Dean Cooper. Finally, he's been trying for the duration of the race, but watch out, Dean Cooper has not given up. And with only 6 laps to go next time past the tower, Jamie Larson on that top shelf. Then we go back to the 2 Darm cars. Then we go back to the 2 sprint car rookies of Zachary Sokal. And we've got one around, and it's another rookie. Richard Battersby round down at Penrite, turn number 3. Lights are out around the speedway once again. Pickens v. Allard. Allard giving him a little push, helping him down into the start of this one. Pickens runs them late, goes as late as can be, and runs it down to minus turn number 1 and 2. That car has just jumped. That beautiful package brought to you by Warwick McKenzie and the team from Pipeline just down the road in Avondale. But Pickens is checked out once again. Doesn't look like Dean Cooper's got anything for our second place man, Jonathan Allard. Neither does Stephen Taylor for Cooper. So it looks like the top 4 have just settled in, but Pickens checks out once again. 3 laps left to run. Make that 2 laps left to run here for this man on screen, the CRC Stadium Finance Pipeline 1NZ. Here he is, the man of the moment. White flag comes out this time around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway for Michael Pickens. Can he bring it home? I'm sure he can. He's spun the car. He's put the car back on the track. He's led it from green to checkered. This man, our man, Michael Pickens, is going to bring home the Salters 25-lap sprint car feature. So Pickens from Allard, Dean Cooper, Stephen Taylor, Jamie Larson, Keaton Dahm and James Dahm round out your top 7 here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. Here we go, Victory Donuts. What are we going to see from MP? Here they are, the man of the moment. Wheel stand for Michael Pickens. No one does it better than this man on screen. He stalls it just like Aaron Hodgson. And there he is, CRC Stadium Finance 1NZ, Michael Pickens.
How do you keep your focus and your concentration when you get so many interruptions during a race?
I guess experience, you just got to knuckle down and concentrate on what you're doing, and make sure your car's right on that restart. We're pulling a lot of wing tonight with how black it is, so knock it forward a little bit, make sure you don't get tight on a restart and that sort of thing. So guys gave me a hell of a car. It's 2 weeks in a row. This thing's absolutely bad to the bone. I've got to thank Warwick McKenzie from Pipeline, a car owner, CRC Industries New Zealand, Stadium Finance, all our partners. Couldn't do it without them. Got a bit of damage to fix on the midget, and we'll come back next week fighting.
Welcome back to the Quarter Mile on Sky as we continue the Pipeline Hose Shop's Red Light Series, and we get to find out who picks up these fine trophies tonight, because we've got coverage from the third and final round that made up the series. It was a great way to bring Speedway back to life under these new COVID conditions, and the team here at Western Springs worked tirelessly behind the scenes along with the sponsors to bring you this racing. So let's get into the action. And first up, from the final red light round, it's the midget feature. Just before we go to that all-important midget feature, the night provided much drama for one of the main contenders, Michael Pickens, suffering damage in both the sprint car and the midget in the heat races, and it made for a tough night for Pickens as the team fought to make the features. And then come feature time, perhaps one of the scariest sights in a long time at Western Springs was in the TQ feature, as Regan Tyler spun, and this fire started as a result of fuel and liquids on the track. Regan was quickly out of the car, and the Springs crew, as always, were rapidly on the scene as well. So, drama aplenty even before the field lined up for the midget feature.
As we roll out for our next feature race here tonight, brought to you by GVI and Fastmaster. Off the front row, it's going to be the 5A of Brock Maskovich, and on the outside of him is going to be the Greenway 11A man of Caleb Curry, out of grid position number 2. Then we go back to the experienced second row of Pickens and Mosen. Then we go back to starting out of grid position number 5 will be Max Guilford in the 3NZ with Hayden Williams in the 1NZ on the outside of him. Then we go back to the rookies out of the 7th row, Alec Kinsley in the 71A. He'll be out of 13 with Trent Way in the 9A on the outside of him in the 14. Then we go back to grid position number 15 will be Jordan McDonnell in the 34A with Brent Curran on the outside of him. Lights are out around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, and we get set to turn them loose for the final round of the Pipeline Hose Shop Midget Car Series here, the Red Light Series. It is Maskovich and Caleb Curry. Off the front row, we go green, but it's Maskovich and the King Tower here that gets off to a great start, but watch out, the Greenway duo is on its way. Top shelf, it's the 2 team cars, the Greenway cars. Then we go back to the 2 team cars, the TRD King Dominance off the next row, but watch out, here comes the 11. Caleb Curry leads his first laps here in the feature. Battles all the way back. Pickens in a heated one with the 3NZ IBET man, Max Guilford. Hayden Williams right down on that pole line, trying to navigate his way round. But the driver down here in turn number 3 in the 99 goes around here. And that's Cole Robinson in the HLR car. As we get set to turn them loose, only a lap in the books here. Caleb Curry has already taken it to Maskovich. He's the pace setter on this restart, and he goes for it. He gets that Greenway 11 off to a great start and will lead them down to minus turn number 1 on the restart. Maskovich up the inside, tries to throw the slider, can't quite get there. Pickens high side around Mosen. Move Pickens up into the 3rd spot. We charge them down a first lap in the books. After that restart, Maskovich is throwing the kitchen sink in this one. He threw a big slider down at minus turn number 1, but wasn't far enough forward to be able to commit and make that move on Caleb Curry. We've got cars high, we've got them low. By the end of this one, we're going to have those cars rubbing right rears up on the signage around the racetrack here at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. 7 laps left to run here for Caleb Curry, who leads Maskovich from Pickens, from Moser, from Guildford. Wheel stands from Guildford. But this is the man on a mission. Point to prove here for Caleb Curry in the Greenway, number 11. Aaron Hodgson still running in the 7th position. Lap traffic coming into play in this one very shortly. Ken Palmer will be the first of the cars that Caleb Curry sets his eyes on the back of. We got cars right up against the concrete. We got Ryan Barry in the wall down at Penrite. Manages to keep it on the racing line, just rails the outside of the cushion. Mosen's right up against the wall. He's the first of the drivers to see to use the wall as a berm and almost bounce that right rear off to try and give him some drive to get off the turn. Caleb Curry struggling to get around the 99 of Cole Robinson now. Allows Maskovich to get a little bit closer. Still can't quite get there. Curry gets through on Robinson now. Next up, the 77V of Brent Curry. So, lap traffic, is that going to be the thing that spoils the fireworks here for Caleb Curry? Manages to get a car between himself and Caleb Curry. Maskovich, as Caleb Curry gets into the wall, Curry is no longer in a hurry, rails the wall. That allows multiple drivers through. There's flames, there's sparks, and the car is slowing. The 11A from hero to zero. And the Greenway number 11 finds himself parked on the outside of turn number 2.
I was watching him work lap traffic. He looked a little bit hesitant, but then he got through and just didn't actually hit the wall at the first. He hit where the grip was in the track. Instead of rolling onto it, he hit it side on. The car sort of bicycled up and got into the wall. Once the right rear hits the wall, it sucks the front into the wall, and you can't really get away from it. It would appear that and smoke out of the car looked like it might be just a flat tyre or something like that, but hard luck for Caleb Curry. He did such a great job to that point.
See this, Graham said he hit this cushion side on, he did, and then he slides over the cushion, in fact, and finds the contact with the Penrite signage here on the outside. You can see how much lock he's got on. Lights are out around Luxor Western Springs Speedway, and it's Maskovich that gets the jump from Pickens and will lead them down to minus turn number 1, but Pickens is still in the hunt for this one. Here comes Hayden Williams, already up into the 4th spot. Gets up the inside of Hodgson. 8 laps left to run. Pickens with a slider on Maskovich. He's going to take the lead and lead the race with only 7 laps to go. The brother and brother-in-law, first and second, the Greenway 10-man, Brad Mosen. Hayden Williams in there in the 4th spot. Hayden Williams running in the 4th from Hodgson. Max Guilford in there, and here comes the man on a charge. Hayden Gunter, he's second highest in points. He started out at grip position number 18, and he's already up into the 6th spot. So at the moment, the Greenway number 10 just almost getting sucked into the wall, much like the man, but we've got one stop down here at Midas turn number 2, and it's the 77V of Brent Curran. Lights are out around Luxor Western Springs Speedway. Once again, it's Pickens from Maskovich, from Mosen. Indian file. Pickens holds them up. He's going at the last minute. Pickens goes. Maskovich tries to go with him. But Pickens puts all the power of that TRD power plant right to the racetrack and capitalizes. Watch out. Here comes Hayden Williams. Moves forward on the inside of Mosen. Mosen gets back in there. He's got an answer for him. But here comes Hodgson up into the 3rd spot, trying to get up the inside of Brad Mosen. That terror number 25 is terrorizing that number 10 of Brad Mosen. 3 laps left to run for our leaders. But this is important. Hodgson got through on Williams. The only other fly in the ointment for this one for Hodgson is the man that he's battling right now, Brad Mosen. if things stay the same at this point in time, it's going to be Hodgson in the 360 property management machine that's going to take the victory in the Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Series. But we're going to have to wait and see. Michael Pickens has an answer. 2 laps left to run. White flag coming out. Next time by for Pickens. Maskovich still with a solid second at the moment. Mo's in third. Guilford right up against the wall there. Last time by down at Penrite, turn number 3 and 4. Half a lap to go for this man on screen. The CRC number 54, Michael Pickens, will take the win here for the 3rd round of the Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Series. But our winner tonight, Michael Pickens from Maskovich, Mosen, Hodgson, Williams, and Hayden Guptill.
I alluded to the fact during the race that I had a special announcement to make regarding Michael Pickens should he win this feature race. Earlier in the night, I must say, it wasn't looking likely the way you were tearing gear up, but Barry Butterworth won 100 feature races here and he didn't care. I won 100 feature races here and I thought I was pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, we've just been made aware that Michael Pickens, this is his 197th or 98th feature win, but what's more significant than that, Michael Pickens, this is your 100th feature race at Western Springs, and absolutely awesome. No matter how good we all thought we were, that is awesome. Well done.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and appreciate the crowd support. And you know, I've had a lot of people help me throughout my career to get to this point, and there's too many, but they know who they are. I started driving my dad's car. I was 15 years old, and it started all from there. So a lot of people to thank. Massive milestone. So thanks to all my guys.
Next up in the final round of the Pipeline Hoses Red Light Series, it's the sprint car feature, and judging by the action in rounds 1 and 2, this is going to be good.
Sprint car feature, Jonathan Allard and James Dahm is your front row lockout. The Haikoki number 71, Jamie Duff, making an appearance on the second row, starting out of group position number 3 with Jamie Larson in the 82A out of 4. Then we go back to Kendall Savage in the 19P. He'll be starting out of 13 with Nick Edmonds in the 37A out of 14. Then we go back to Richard Battersby in the 99A SuperStocks machine out of 15 with Michael Pickens, 1NZ out of 16. Lights are out around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, and we get set to turn them loose for 25 laps. Allard off the front row with Dahm in the Hydrolink number 6K. Who's going to get that initial jump? It goes to Allard, but not without a fight from the man out of Mount Maunganui in the Hydrolink 6K. Here he comes, Mr. Angry. Nick Brown called it, and he's going to lead the opening lap here, but not without a fight from Jonathan Allard and the Daltons 11 USA. 25 laps to run here. Jamie Larson in that new Shark chassis has moved up into the 3rd spot. Jamie Duff is dropping like wildfire in that 71 Haikoki machine. He's dropped back into the 6th spot. He's in a battle with Dean Brindle in the 22. So this is the battle. As we say, Jamie Duff, 6th, 7th, 8th. We've got Zachary Sokal, the rookie, in there as well. Pickens already up into the 10th spot, so let's keep our eyes on him. Pickens already right behind his 2nd place rival in the Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Series, Dean Cooper. Pickens gets up the inside of Cooper. Cooper knew he was coming. Pickens now sets his eyes onto the back of the 47 of Sokal. But at the moment, the man that has nothing to lose, he's got his foot hard on the gas and using everything under his right foot. And James Dahm. So at the moment, we keep this eyes on the battle with Jamie Duff there with Zach Sokal, because this man back of shot, the 1NZ CRC Stadium Finance man, Pickens, is on his way forward. His highest point scorer coming into tonight into the Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Series. But remembering his competition, his fiercest rival, who's currently running in 2nd, is also right behind him in Dean Cooper. Pickens has got to be careful here. The further forward he gets in this battle pack, the harder it's going to be, the fiercer the competition is going to be. As we say, it's lap traffic that is going to have everything to do with the result here tonight. Jamie Larson is also coming. Just bumps the cushion. All the drivers running right up against the wall down at Penrite. Pickens still unable to get around the outside of the 47. Fairview Rodney, Zachary Sogao at this point in time. But as we see that, Jamie Larson is coming through, but none other than Allard has taken the lead away from Darm. Here he comes. As we said, you can never ride off this man, much like Michael Pickens. He is smooth, he is fast, and he is experienced. J.A. Jonathan Allard is now your new leader from Mr. Angry, Mr. Darm. Then we go back to the 82 of Jamie Larson. Third spot at the moment still goes back to the second of the Darm cars. So we go back a little bit further to Dean Brindle. Then it's Pickens now. Pickens has made his way through, not only on Sogao, but he's also made his way through on Jamie Duff. So Pickens already up into the 6th position in this one here. 10 laps left to go for this man on screen at the moment. Darm is throwing everything at this one, but it's too little too late. Jamie Larson is coming. He's a whole lot smoother, running right up against the wall. We keep our eyes just out of shot on Mr. Angry as we see Jonathan Allard running smooth around that outside, trying to get his way around the outside of Savage now. Goes Lyside, trying to sneak up the inside on the rookie. 9 laps, make that 8 laps left to go for this man, Jonathan Allard. He's managed to prevail. Pickens hasn't had the best night. He's been caught up in his own incidents down here at Penrite turn number 3. We saw that earlier, and the man on screen has capitalized on every opportunity that has presented it. Expect a slider from Larson. He's on that pole line. Is this it? Is this the bars? He gets there. He gets up the inside. They touch. Gentle touch down to Midas turn number 1 and 2. And we've got one of the HLR cars, Ryan O'Connor, in the mix as well. So that's the 4th place man wanting a taste of the battle, making that 3rd position. Move Ryan O'Connor up a spot into 3rd. But coming up to 3 laps to go for this man. Unstoppable in the feature so far tonight. The Daltons 11 USA. Jonathan Allard, we call him J.A. He's our local man, contracted here at Luke Saw Western Spring Speedway. We love him. He's a crowd favourite. He's respectable. He's a hard racer. 2 laps left to go for J.A. He puts Heather Daniels down a lap for the 2nd time. The 2 team cars gets around him nice and smooth. Heather Daniels making his return here to the Speedway with only 1 lap left to go for Jonathan Allard. Then we go back to the 6K of Darm. Then we go to the 98 man of Ryan O'Connor. But the man on screen at the moment, Jonathan Allard, takes the win here tonight. As we confirm the results on screen, Jonathan Allard takes the win here for the Salters Sprint Cars. 2nd place goes to James Darm. Ryan O'Connor with a great drive on the podium in 3rd.
Talk us through the race. First of all, when James Darm sort of checked out a bit, you were then running the midline through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I just had to get my tire hot enough. We wanted a little bit harder compound and tried to slide it around to get the thing warmed up. And all of a sudden the thing came on, and what a big difference it made. But really, at the end of the day, I got to thank my team. Without the support of Dalton's and Colin, the CEO of Dalton's, is just right behind me, and so is Neil Dalton. And they call me during the week and give me pep talks and try to keep my chin up. And the last few weeks have been a struggle, but also all my guys, they've been working really hard at the shop, and they're relentless, and we've been losing. And Michael's been beating us, so we've taken a lot of time and made some phone calls and put some stuff on paper and thought about it, and we got this thing rolling good.
What a great night's racing here at Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway. Jonathan Allard taking out the feature in the sprint cars, and what a drive that was. And congratulations to our Pipeline Hose Shop champions in the sprint cars, Michael Pickens. And he picked up his 100th win here at Western Spring Speedway because he also is the champion in the Red Light Series for the Midgets on countback. 78 was the magic number for 3 drivers, and it was their countback positions that got Michael Pickens to be our glorious champion. What a great season it's been at Western Springs. Check out some of these races.
The entire front end there of the current 1NZ. Lance Field getting caught up in the mix as well. As we've got big couple there, and just as we talked about him, that's Terence Carell one, looks 22. He dominated here, and the KP Tanks, number 97 of Ben Morrison, takes out your feature here tonight. But the win goes to Daniel Thomas. Gilbert looking to bring home his first feature win here at Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway. And that, ladies and gentlemen, celebration or not, that is a feature celebration. And there is our win from hero to zero, Max Gilbert. Allard moves high side, gets out of shape, he hits the wall and he's over. Got 9 laps left to run for Auto Super Shop Sprint Car Masters. Pickens is your pace centre. Down the outside, Pickens goes early, and we are racing. And just as we head into turn 1, a big up and over for the 51. So Pickens leads the 88 of Eden Darm. Then we go back to Dean Cooper, Daniel Thomas, and Dion Kendo, and our winner for tonight for round 1 of the Auto Super Shop, Michael Pickens. Oh, Regan Tyler gets in there as well. As does, we got a big flyer down here. Jamie McDonald up and over multiple times, as does the 2 cars down the back. He goes early once again as we see cars get out of shape. We've got multiple cars around.
Well, that's our series at Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway, and that's our series here on Sky. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll be able to catch you back in a COVID-free environment next time here at Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway.